Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got in a tube style rifle red dot to take a look at. This is a somewhat newer release from Gowutar, and the model is the GR23. One of the main features on this dot is that it is truly solar powered. It does not even require a battery in the daytime to operate. Plus it has shake awake or motion awake technology and several other nice features. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all those features and specifications. I'll show you guys the user interface and what the dot looks like. We'll get it mounted to something, get out to the range, do a little bit of testing, and then I'll get some thoughts on it. Quickly show you around the box here. It looks like this is going to have a 3 MOA dot, and ours is going to be red. They do make the same optic with the green emitter. There's a QR code right there. A little bit of information right there. And then let's get into the box itself. Alrighty. Let's see what all we get with this. Looks like we're gonna have a little sticker up on top. Manual, I'll show you that in a minute. Lens cleaning cloth. Looks like a tool. And the dot, that looks like everything in there. Wait, there might be a battery here. Yep. This little included tool is kind of like a multi-tool. This here is how you're gonna like open your battery door. This up here is how you're gonna change your windage and elevation adjustments. And here's how you're actually gonna mount it to your rail. I quickly show you this manual just in case there's anything that I leave out during this video, or in case you buy this red dot and lose your manual, you can always come back to this video for reference. And it looks like we're going to have a 3-year warranty on this red dot. So here is the GR23. Give you guys some close-ups before we start going over everything. This thing's actually fairly compact. I mean, it's like half the length of a finger. I'll get you the exact dimensions in a bit, but I'm kind of surprised at how small this is. So this is made out of 6061 aluminum with some type of matte black anodization on it. It looks like the mount matches the red dot pretty well perfectly. It is IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can shoot it in the rain, snow, humid climates, drop it in puddles. It should be perfectly fine. Plus it also has 1500 G's of recoil rating, so you should be able to put this on just about anything, including shotguns. It's going to have a fully multi-coated front lens here. That just kind of allows for more light transmission, which makes things clearer. It also helps prevent any type of scratching on that lens. Grab you guys the dimensions here. We're basically at 2 inches in length. Our width, 1.5 inches. The height of the dot itself, probably maybe 1.3, 1.4 inches. And the total height with the mount and everything is about 2.6 inches. Weight with the optic and the mount together, 4.3 ounces. You can remove this riser if you want to, but you are going to need like an Aimpoint, like a T1, T2 mount. This is not a picatinny mount. And when I say it's an Aimpoint footprint, I mean like the underside of the actual red dot. This here is clearly a picatinny mount. So the operation of this dot is going to be very simple. We're going to turn it on and off here. But again, this is going to have that shake awake or motion awake. So once we get it turned on for the first time, we won't really ever have to adjust that again. But again, our brightness settings are up and down is here. Our elevation adjustments here. Windage adjustments over here. Battery door is there. This is basically a 1x magnification, unlimited eye relief. As you can see, I still have not put the battery in, but you can probably see the red dot right there. Again, it's working off of the solar power that's just in this room right now. And I'm going to take this flashlight and shine up here, and you'll see that dot get a whole lot brighter. So it will adjust for how much light you have. So if you're outside, your dot's going to be way brighter. But let's throw this battery in and we'll go over the two different modes that it has. Again, you can use that tool if you want, or you can just grab onto the sides of this and open it up. So yeah, this dot has two different modes. You can have auto mode, which is kind of what I was just showing you, and then also manual mode. With the auto mode, you can't manually change the brightness settings. It's just all based off of like your ambient lighting around you. In manual mode, the solar panel and the battery kind of work together to supply power for the red dot. So that if you were shooting at night or in a dark house or something like that, the battery will kind of compensate and still maintain the whatever level you have it set at. But with us using the battery now, we do have to manually turn this on. So we're going to hit this up arrow one time, and that's going to turn us on. I think we have 10 levels of brightness. 8 of them should be visible, and then 2 of them are night vision and are going to require some type of night goggles or whatever. So let's say that that's 10 right there. Let's come down through these. That's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. That's getting hard to see through the camera. That should be 3 right there. The next 2 I know we won't see. So let's go back up through them one more time. That should be 4, 5. But as you can see, that definitely gets very, very bright. One nice thing about this GR23 is that you cannot really see the emitter in here. A lot of times I'll stick up in the corner and they kind of obstruct some of the view, and they have basically completely hidden it down in this. The shake awake or motion awake, basically after 4 minutes of inactivity or no motion, this dot will power itself off, and then with just the slightest bump, any type of movement whatsoever, the dot will be right back on instantaneous. I did want to show you in this manual mode that if we take a flashlight and shine on that solar panel now, it does not change the brightness of that dot, but the solar will still be powering it. This will be a little bit confusing, but even with the battery in, you can switch it back to that kind of like auto mode, and you do that by holding both of the up and down buttons at the same time for about 3 seconds. And now when it detects more light, again, the battery is installed right now, you can see that that's going to get a whole lot brighter. One other thing I wanted to show you is that you can manually turn the red dot off with the down arrow. You just hold it for about 3 seconds. The thing with this now is it completely shut it off, and you've also like deactivated basically that motion awake. So if you move it around, it's not going to come back on. You have to manually turn this back on now. Let's quickly check out these turrets, see what they feel like. Very, very positive. You can feel every single adjustment and hear everyone. I'm gonna get this put on a rifle. Just so you guys know, the mount here is spring loaded, and it has like one of these little like lugs. So once it goes in between the spots here on your Picatinny rail, it just kind of helps keep it in place. And just so YouTube knows, putting a red dot on a rifle does not modify this rifle in any way whatsoever. It still does exactly the same thing as what it was originally manufactured to do. And with this having unlimited eye relief, you can really mount it anywhere that you want along this section of your rail. Alright guys, out at the range this morning with that Gowutar red dot. I'm set up down here at 50 yards. I'm gonna get this sighted in and then probably put 50 to 100 rounds total through it. Make sure if there aren't any problems with the dot, flickering, shutting off, or anything weird like that. So I didn't have any troubles at all at the range. It only took a few shots to get sighted in, and then it maintained 0 for the next 95 rounds or so that I put through it. So what do I think about this GR23? Overall, I really like it. Everything about it just feels a little more premium than some of the other tube style red dots that I have. Just the overall build quality on it is excellent. It's IPX7 waterproof rated. It's the 1500 Gs of recoil rating. And it also seems to be just a little more compact, a little bit shorter than some other rifle red dots. The glass on it is very clear. There wasn't any type of like fisheye or distortion or anything weird like that. The dot is very crisp, very bright. That 3 MOA is easy to pick up. And I also like it how that emitter doesn't obstruct any of the view at all. I like how it has a solar panel, and that can be the primary power source. Technically, you don't even have to have a battery in it during the daytime. But even when you do have a battery in it, that solar panel really helps extend the life of that battery. I also like how it has that shake awake feature. That's another thing that helps extend the life of the battery. And I have tested that dozens and dozens of times over the last 3 weeks, and it's worked perfectly every single time. I also like that it has multiple levels of brightness. So if it's a bright sunny day, you can still pick up on that dot pretty easily. Or if you're using it at night or inside your home, you can dial that down a little bit so it's not as bright on you. I don't really have anything to complain about on this one. I guess just remind you guys that it is just a single reticle on this one, just that 3 MOA dot. There is not a circle dot. And then the other thing to remind you of is that the actual red dot itself has that Aimpoint, the T1, T2 kind of mount on it. So if you wanted to go something like lower down, you might need to get a different riser here. So the GR23 is available on Amazon. It is available with a red dot or with a green dot. And I'll be sure to include that link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the dot, if you want to read some of the reviews, or if you want to pick one up. Also, if they provide me any type of discount code, I'll put that down in the description as well. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.